Amoeba is an interesting power that captures the imagination of new players to Cosmic Encounter. But how do you play it well? That's what we will show you here today on Legendary Tactics. Spawned on a totally liquid world, amoebas are highly conscious of vibrations. Quick to withdraw from danger, they are equally able to ooze menacingly into combat when confronted with the proper turbulences. Amoebas pity those who are less able to respond to circumstance and will be sensitive cosmic masters. The amoeba has the power to ooze. This occurs when, as a main player, after the encounter cards are selected but before they are revealed, if the amoeba has at least one ship in the encounter, they can use their ooze power. This allows the amoeba player to increase or decrease as many ships as they like, even exceeding the normal limit of 4. If the amoeba player chooses to ooze away all their ships and subsequently wins the encounter, no colony is awarded. The strength of this power is that one can increase the power of attack or escape an encounter that is a lost cause. Beginners will see this as an opportunity to overwhelm their opponent, sending 15 ships into every encounter. But this is unwise, as the risk of running up against a very large attack card could be devastating. Amoeba needs ships, and preferably plenty of them in order to be effective. With a significant number of ships in the warp, the ooze power becomes essentially useless. So beware of Cudgel, which causes you to lose extra ships, and Fungus, which captures ships that are lost in a battle with them, as these are especially dangerous to face. And, obviously, Void is Amoeba's deadliest enemy, sending lost ships out of the game instead of just to the warp. There are certainly times when this ability to ooze in ships is valuable, especially up against Macron, whose ships are worth 4 each, or against early or mid-game Warrior, whose strength gathers over the course of the game. But in general, be judicious with oozing in. It can make a big difference at lower player counts where there are fewer allies involved, and the chances of enemy reinforcement cards are less. Also, your power may trick your opponent into playing a higher attack card than they'd like to play, which can also be useful. Arguably, if you have Mobius tubes in hand, a good attack card that you wish to boost, or some good reinforcement cards to ensure your boldness, you may choose to use it with some confidence. But it may be best to just add a few extra ships to cancel out a possible reinforcement card. The variants of attack cards are just too broad, and the risk of a big loss is too high. But feel free to use the threat of using your power as intimidation and manipulate the players around you. One alternate use of this power is to add some extra ships into an encounter to increase compensation, although it does come at a cost, obviously, of losing some ships to the warp. It can be worth it if you have identified a particular card that your opponent has, such as your Flare. But what about oozing out? Once an encounter has started and the allies are lined up, it allows the amoeba player to strategically bail out at little to no cost, stranding allies to shoulder the burden of the loss. It won't make you any friends, but it can be useful in the right moment. It can also let you offload a bad encounter card in the process. And in the early game, it can help you safely exit an unplanned encounter with the Gambler or Gorilla. Oozing out can also help you to reposition your ships on your colonies, commit 4 ships to an attack, and then ooze them back out and place them where they need to go. As the game progresses and ships are lost to the warp, used to garrison colonies on foreign worlds, or invested in technology, the amoeba's power becomes more fragile and likely weaker. And how does one deal with an opposing amoeba? Well, basically chip away at the amoeba's ships so that it becomes less effective as the game progresses. Other than that, you'll need to play the guessing game to try and figure out whether your opponent is about to ooze in or ooze out. Play the player as best as you can. This has been a quick strategy guide to help you figure out how to play the amoeba alien in Cosmic Encounter. We hope you enjoyed this video and got some good value from it. If you did, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe, or become a member for access to some sweet additional content. This is Legendary Tactics.